with it, because big, you know, fresh growth doesn't get destroyed by the wide tyres. But once a crop's established and started growing, then if you use anything but row crop tyres, you kill the crop. And that's true on both spreaders and fertilizer and sprayers and tractors and trailers. Because of the nice patterns on this field, I'll just run straight rows from now onwards. It will give us more control over the even coverage of the field, and we'll fill that side gap in as we're going. Excuse me. Well, this certainly has enough horsepower for this job, even with the steepness of the fields. So I don't think this was a bad choice of a medium-sized tractor. I think some of the other tractors I get will be more in the 220-250 horsepower range, but I don't have to go that big. The problem is going to be carting. I'm going to be getting a bunch of smaller trailers rather than the 56,000 litre trailer or auger that we had on Lawfolds. That's not prototypical for British countryside. In fact, augers aren't prototypical for England. So that's kind of why I've switched to using the barrels of fertilizer and the seed bags, pallets of bags of seed. Because that's more typical, at least from YouTube videos I've watched of UK farmers. That's more of a typical approach. Fill that bit in. Put us back to about the middle, that's good. So turn that off and we'll do a rundown from here. There's a bit of delay on the tractor takeoff. I don't think that's a lack of horsepower. We do reach operating speed at a fairly good rate. Okay, that's that one done. We're not doing that. Let's move over half a dot. let's go. That was a problem. I had my foot on the accelerator while I was going, changing from backwards to forwards. And so it hadn't registered. I wanted to go forwards before I pushed the go forwards button, or the go button. Kind of a weirdness with this enhanced driving mod in that if I switch from forward to reverse while pushing the accelerator will work as a brake, but then I'm frozen out and the tractor won't move until I take my foot off the accelerator. The brake will always work as a brake. And then if I'm using the guidance steering GPS mod, it completely ignores the enhanced driving mod, and so the controls revert to a default. Accelerator is forward or stop if you're going backwards, and the brake is go backwards. But I can live with that for the most part. Because most of the time, if you're using the guidance steering mod, you're driving forwards. Let's move left a bit. There we go. How's that load? 700. Okay. It's still good. So I might be wrong, but this might be fully fertilised field. Because we ploughed it in, we used a seeder that has fertiliser as a feature. Which we didn't use on the other grass field. The other grass field we used the Lemkin 12-metre seeder, which only seeds, doesn't fertilise, doesn't cultivate. And since my thing was I knew it worked, but then decided to try something a little bit more multi-purpose. But we had used the Lemkin on law folds for the entire playthrough, and I knew that worked, but because it doesn't fertilise, the grass field at the top of the farm didn't get fertilised while I was seeding. So yeah, this is final stage of fertilisation. So we can come back here and deal with the weeds later, when the grass grows again. I don't know if I'll do a full application of herbicide or whether I'll just stick to a patchwork. I'm kind of confused how weeds work, because a lot of the time weeds don't grow on grass fields. And I don't know if that's a design or if that is something that's... There's a setting on the map, and some map makers say, no, 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 you have weeds on our grass, and other map makers just don't bother to do that. Because obviously you can't have weeds on map grass, because you can't spray and spread things on map grass. But a lot of the time I'll do what I did here. This was already a field of grass, and so I ploughed it and replanted it to get rid of the needs ploughed, yeah, so it could be that weeds just don't grow on map grass, and because this is a ploughed field of grass, or because this is a field, should I say, that I then it's not map grass, and so therefore it is a thing that does get weeds. I'm missing a tiny little bit on that right hand end. I'm going to say I'm not too bothered about that. Left hand end, should I say. As long as we get most of it, and we have. So there's the other enhancement to the field. We have a little wall over there. But the sheep field is, I think it's just a pasture. Yeah, map grass. It's not an actual field. So I shouldn't get any weeds in that one. Same with the cow pasture. But this is an actual grass field that you can optionally keep sheep in. And there's one on the other side of the lane up to the farm that can be used for the same thing. I don't own that one right now. And frankly, I've got way too much grass. So we are going to be silaging this stuff. But probably only once this year. So that's not too bad. We used 254 litre, or I guess we used 1946 litres on this field. So that's less than I thought we would. I'll come back and patchwork the weeds on this when the grass gets more mature. Oh, and that's the bit that somehow got magically fertilised earlier. In fact, that field should be one stage of growth behind the one at the top. So next time everything grows, we'll be fertilising the stuff that is not fully fertilised yet. And then once everything's fully fertilised, we'll switch this for herbicide and go around and deal with the fields we have. So my sheep's so yeah, these fields are horribly infested with weeds. And as I said, you can't do anything to the weeds if you've already sprayed for fertiliser. But, you know, the weeds only affect small parts of the... You know, this bit, no weeds here, no weeds here. We get a penalty for having weeds in this tiny part of the field. But we get a bonus for fertilising the entire field, so I'm concentrating on at least getting the fertiliser down before I worry about eliminating the weed penalty. This field also has weeds in. I'm not sure how established they are because I'm not seeing much here. Oh, there's some. Yeah, this field is horrendously populated. This is quite bad. This one not too bad. Couple of patches. So I might end up, after I fertilise this next time out, I may herbicide this entire field. This one, probably 2. This one, I'll just spray the patches and be done with it. Same with this one. This one and this one, we've got more growth to happen before I can make a decision on what we do with the weeds. This field, no weeds in it. It's a grass field. So like I said, I don't know what the deal with weeds and grass is. And because these weeds grew when this field was just seeded. And the weeds established before the grass grew. The rest of these are all arable. Or this field was 6 is the grass field. So this field, these weeds grew before the grass did. We shall see. Anyway, let's go find the tractor and go back to the yard. Where's the gap? This field growing, fertilised 66%. So we'll get most of these fields fully fertilised in next growth stage. Oh, way too fast. Probably going to be a couple of years, but in a couple of years when we get around to buying the pig farm, we will get a small fleet of tractors for down there as well. Probably a mid-size and a small. The big tractors will live up here at this yard. So I think I can put this away. See up the backs. So it doesn't need to be full right now. We will refill it. When we next take it out. For now, you can just sit there. All we need to do is really heavy weight, but we need it for the pallets. We'll unload the truck, and we're probably going to have to unstrap those up. Then we can put the truck away and look for something else to do. Probably take a look at the sheeps. Okay, I believe I used the pallets on the other side first, so this one is full. The other advantage with these is because they're only 1500 litres, this tractor can, for the most part, cope with them. really doesn't do the IBCs too well. I didn't pick that up too well. Yeah. I do like this set of consumable supplies. It's just unfortunate that when you unload, they unload to the default stuff. Take the 3 off this side first because I know they're all 4. And I have to take them off the front for the rest. Ooh! Mine fence. That's the problem with a 4-wheel drive tractor. If you get too close to the fence, turning away from the tractor puts either the back end swinging into it or the front end swinging into it. The problem I have in World of Warships, if you're going too fast and get too close to an island, you can end bunched up right next to the island. And then you can't pull away from it, because no matter what happens, the boat swings closer to the island. Whether you're going forwards or reverse and trying to turn away from the island. Oh, that was the other thing that got patched this week, was the class DLC. So apparently now you can refuel the telehandler. So we could get one on the farm somewhere. Maybe this one. Moment, I'm just using this as the yard tractor. Because I can use it for putting stuff away as well as carting pallets around. And the 4-wheel steering does help with the putting stuff away thing. No. Put that on like that. That's what I want to do. Shuffle that back as well. I think we'll get another 3 in there. And we'll put these off from this side. I can use it as a reseeder lift as well, although for some seeders telehandlers work better because of the telescopic arm. Oh, there's another fence we're going to have to fix. Still, the pallets are a little bit heavy for this. If I manoeuvre them too quick, I can end up with the back wheel coming off the ground. I'm really not sure about putting something heavier than 1100 weight on the back of this. To pick that up correctly so it comes off easy. Lift and good. Okay, put this away. The last one should be a partial. Oh. Okay. Strike the forks. Good. That last one. I wonder if I should get the mod that tells me the angle that the forks are at. Whoa, that was bad. Okay, we can put all this stuff away now. Keep the trailer in the hay cell point or the barn. Interesting. I'm going to call sufficient. I usually try and keep equipment I use quite frequently closer to the house. And everything else I stage elsewhere unless it's being almost used every day. Then I'll stage it up near the house, or I'll leave it out overnight while I'm using it. But once we're done with it, so the seeder and the cultivator are all put away in the shed in the bottom yard. I don't need them until next year now. This is not working, guys. That's better. Stab. Yes. Oh, this one's nearly empty. 200 litres in it. 266 litres in it. So. There we go.